My name's Marketta, and I'm telling the Mexican folk tale of El Cucuy. There once was a village deep inside the heart of Mexico where a small family lived. It was 3 little girls and their father raising them alone. There was one little girl who was particularly good. She would always try to make sure that all the chores in the house were done and that dinner was on the table by the time her dad got home so that he could just take care of raising them and taking care of them. The other two little girls were very mischievous. All they wanted to do all day is play and mess around. Well, the father would come home sometimes and he'd say, "You two, if you don't start behaving, I am going to call El Cucuy." Well, they'd grown up with this story of El Cucuy. He was a big bear of a man that lived in a cave in the mountains, and he would come down. He could hear naughty little children. He had one really big red ear, and he could hear the children being naughty. And their parents can call El Cucuy to teach them a lesson and teach them to behave. Well, the girls never believed this. One day, the girls were being particularly awful, and they messed up all the things that their good sister were doing. There were clothes that she had washed hanging up on a line outside, and they took them and knotted them up. And she'd cleaned up around the house, and they had played all around the house and made a mess again. The father comes home, and he's upset, and he says, El Cucuy, come get these children." And nothing happened. So the little girls started mocking him and saying, "El Cucuy, he's not real, he's not real." Well, little did they know that they had heard their father. And so he comes down through the town, and later that night he sweeps them up right in front of their good little sister and their father and takes them up to his cave in the mountain. Well, the father, so distraught and upset, looks for days for these 2 little girls and doesn't find them. Until one day soon thereafter, this little boy who's herding his goats up into those same mountains to get them fed has one little goat that strays off. And he goes off to find the goat, and he sees the 2 little children in the cave, and they yell out, please help us, El Cucuy has brought us here." So he takes off his coat, and he lowers it into the cave, and one after the other, he brings the girls out of the cave. And they start heading down the mountain. Well, again, that father had gone out looking for them that day, and they met each other in the middle of the mountain. And he sees his 2 little girls, and he sweeps them up, and he grabs them, and he hugs them, and he holds them. And they say, "Please don't ever call El Cucuy on us again. Please don't ever call him." And his father never even had reason to call them, because from then on, they helped with all the house chores. They became 2 of the nicest and most polite girls in all of that entire village. And they really learned to be more of a help than a hinder in life in general. And that is the story of El Cucuy.